When that little girl asked me if we would definitely make it to morning, I didn't yet know that a few hours later our bus would be standing in the middle of an autobahn with no signal and no lights. That night we left late. There was no rain, but the sky felt wrong, heavy, low, like a storm was about to break. There weren't many passengers on board, a young couple, 2 students, a man who slept the entire time, and a woman with a little girl about 8 years old. They got on in Poland. The girl immediately felt different to me, quiet, too quiet for a child. She barely spoke, just kept looking out the window, at the dark road, holding an old stuffed teddy bear. Around midnight we were already in Germany. The autobahn was almost empty. Only trucks passed us from time to time. Inside the bus there was a sleepy silence, and then suddenly the girl came up to me. "Are we definitely going to arrive?" I smiled. "Of course." But she didn't smile back. She only said quietly, "I just don't like this road at night." Then she went back to her seat. Honestly, her words made me feel a bit uneasy, because the way she said it felt strange, like an adult speaking. About an hour later, a thick fog started rolling in. So thick I had to slow down. The headlights barely cut through it. Even trucks almost disappeared. And then, the lights inside the bus went out, completely. The passengers woke up immediately. What happened? Why is it dark? I checked the dashboard. The electricity was unstable, flickering. The radio started hissing, then shut off completely. The bus fell into silence. Only the engine and sudden rain hitting the body could be heard. And then the little girl quietly said, "It started." I felt chills down my spine. What started? But she didn't answer. She just hugged her teddy bear tighter. Suddenly a light appeared ahead in the fog. A car was standing in the middle of the roadside, old, dark, no hazard lights, no people. I slowed down, and in that second, the girl suddenly screamed, "Don't stop!" Everyone jumped. Her mother immediately tried to calm her down. It's okay. But the girl was truly scared, genuinely scared. She was staring at that car like she saw something terrifying. Honestly, even I felt uneasy, because there was only fog around us, and that black car. I decided not to stop. We drove on. But a few minutes later, it got worse. All phones lost signal. Completely. No internet. One student said nervously, "This is getting weird." And then the engine started to stutter, like something was interfering. The lights flickered again. People were no longer asleep. Everyone was looking out the windows. But all there was outside was fog. Endless. White. Dead. And then the little girl whispered, "It's following us." Silence filled the bus. "Who?" She slowly turned her head toward the rear window and said quietly, "That car." One passenger immediately looked back and went pale. "There are headlights." I looked into the mirror and saw them. 2 yellow lights in the fog. A car was following us, far behind. No plates visible, no proper lighting. Just there, moving slowly, sticking to us. Honestly, at that moment I felt a cold wave run down my spine. Because on an autobahn like this, in that weather, it felt completely wrong. I pressed the gas slightly. The car sped up too. Panic started in the bus. "What the hell is that? Call the police!" "There's no signal." The woman with the child was pale as a ghost, and the girl kept staring back, unblinking. And then she said something that made the entire bus go silent. "I've seen that car before." Everyone turned to her. "Where?" She stayed silent for a few seconds, then said quietly, "Before the accident." Her mother grabbed her hand immediately. "Stop talking!" But it was too late. Passengers started exchanging nervous looks, and then the woman said quietly, "We had an accident on this road a year ago." My stomach dropped. "What?" She exhaled heavily. "We survived, but the driver of the other car didn't." The bus fell completely silent, and somewhere behind us in the fog, the yellow headlights were still there, following. And then the bus suddenly jerked. The engine died. The lights went out completely. We stopped in the middle of the fog. No signal, no power. And that's when the headlights behind us started getting closer. Honestly, panic broke out in the bus. A woman started crying. Someone was praying. The student was desperately trying to get signal. And the little girl just stared into the dark and whispered, "Don't get out. The headlights came closer, 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 and then they vanished. Just disappeared into the fog, completely like they were never there. The bus fell into silence. Even breathing could be heard. And after a few seconds, the engine suddenly started again. The lights came back on, the radio turned on, as if nothing had happened. I kept looking in the mirror for a long time, but there was nothing behind us. Only fog. About an hour later, we arrived at a large gas station. The woman and her daughter were the last to leave the bus. Before stepping out, the girl looked at me and said, "It's good you didn't stop this time." "Why?" She stayed silent for a moment, then quietly answered, "Because last time, we did." After that, they left. And I stood there for a long time staring at the dark highway. And honestly, after that night, I stopped liking fog on highways. And that was just one night on the road. There are still many strange and disturbing stories ahead. You're watching Highway E40. Subscribe. The next one might be even darker.